Hi, everybody, and welcome to another week of the Celebrity Creators Show. We are so excited to be with you again tonight. But before we get started, I would like to introduce to you my co-host and co-creator of the Celebrity Creators Show, Brian Kelly. How you doing tonight, Brian?
I am doing so fantastic. Somebody's got to pinch me.
That's pretty good. But anyway, I just want to tell everybody, for those that might be on the show for the first time, a little bit about you. My friend Brian has over 24 years experience as a software engineer. And in addition to that, he also co-owned a travel-based multi-level marketing company for 6.5 years. That's been a little while ago, but I've got to tell you, that's where he garnered a lot of the expertise that he uses in some of the things that you see and will see throughout the Celebrity Creator Show. In addition to that, Brian and I together are working on a book. He is also an author, a speaker, and is an avid social media enthusiast. He is so multifaceted and has so many things to share and offer other than just being my great and dear friend. Brian, welcome to the show tonight.
Well, you just better stop it now. Now, that's it. Our show's over. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, we're just kidding. Thank you very much, Kathy. That was a very nice intro, as always. And now it's my turn to introduce this wonderful woman on my left, your right, as you're watching the show. Kathy has just an unbelievable array of experience dating back, well, we won't go there, but she has been an operations and sales manager for over 25 years with a Fortune 500 company. Operations and sales manager. That's pretty impressive. But it doesn't stop. She's also been in affiliate marketing since the early 90s. And I always like to call her affectionately the affiliate marketing queen because she can sell nearly anything to nearly anyone. She truly is very talented in that arena and many others. She's been in network marketing and has experience in that since dating back to the mid 80s. In fact, that's how we met. But that was then. This is now. She's also, as she mentioned, a budding author, and we both shared the stage together as speakers, and a very highly successful social media coach. She says I'm an enthusiast, and that's where it stops. She's the expert. I'm just enthused about it. So if you want to really bump up your social media presence, and we're talking about any and all of the big ones out there, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, you have it. Kathy is the person, so hit that contact us link above if you are in any way looking for greater exposure for your business in the social media arena. You have found the right person right here, Miss Kathy Stover. And in addition to that, two more quick things. She's also a power seller on eBay and a top-rated seller on eBay. Two very, very esteemed certificates. What do you call them? Accreditations. I'll get it out sooner or later. She has certificates posted on her wall. I've seen them. I've been sitting in that very chair she's in right now. And just want to say, Kathy, once again, thank you so much for everything you've done to bring this show together. Let's kick this off and bring on our fantastic guest.
You got it. Thank you so much. As always, you're like way over the top of me. Everybody's going to know what I do over and over and over again. But that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But you're right. We want to start talking about our incredible guest tonight. Our guest is a creative visionary and problem solver. His name is Dolan, for those of you who have been watching the ads going out over the past week. Dolan is only 29 and has more than 8 years of experience in the human potential industry. Dolan became the 51st employee at Peak Potentials and even began to start his trainer training under CEO Harvecker himself. He took a 2+ month spiritual intermission to India. He returned rejuvenated to come back and work with the leaders in North America. Over the next 1.5 years, he individually consulted information marketers and thought leaders on how to set up their training businesses. As Dolan says, he was introduced to possibly the world's best marketer and online trainer, Alex Mandossian. During this time, he was involved managing the joint venture and affiliate department, creating products and services. That says a lot right there, but there's more. Dolan has worked with some of the industry's top leaders of today and thought leaders on a day-to-day basis. And we're talking about people like Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield, Harv Eker, Brad Smart, Raymond Aaron, Bob Proctor, and many, many others. Dolan believes now is the time for the largest mass shift in consciousness the planet has ever experienced. Brian and I are excited and pleased to bring you guys tonight our special guest, Dolan, and I'm going to say your name wrong, so Dolan, say your last name for me.
You can say it either way, Gaduri or Gaduri.
Well, I was going to say Gaduri, so I would have had it right, but I didn't want to mispronounce it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys.
Yes.
It's a great honor.
Thank you so much. And Dolan, where are you coming to us from at the moment?
At the moment, I'm in Los Angeles, California.
And you are a recent transition to Los Angeles from where?
From Vancouver, British Columbia. Yeah, beautiful BC, up in Canada.
Well, we welcome you with open arms, and we're glad you're here with us in the good old US of A. And we do appreciate you being on the show, but let's get right into it, shall we? The title of this show is The Single Most Important Thing You Can Do to Stop Being Busy and Start Living Life. I really like that. That has a good ring to it. Now, I got to ask you, Dolan, why is removing the word busy so important to anyone's success, to your success?
Yeah, well, it's a great question, and there's a fine line in there that I really want to make sure that we address right away, which is that there is the single most important thing you can really do is to look at this word busy and simply just remove the word itself. It's not even about the act of what we're doing, but literally this word has a meaning that is pretty much cutting the life force from your existence every time you use it. And I don't know if either of you have seen the movie The Secret. Have you seen the movie The Secret?
Yes.
I have. Yeah.
And I guess what the bleep do we know? There was a study that was brought to the world with Masaru Emoto and the Messages in Water. And what he showed with his studies was that the consciousness in words had an actual impact on the cellular structure of the water crystals. And this was absolutely profound. So they did tests on words that were seen, as positive and negative, and the tests were astounding. So when we look at the word busy, it's not even the act of being busy, but the word busy. It's so important to remove this word simply because of the meaning it has and the consciousness it holds every time you use it, which is one of literally cutting off the life force, which we'll get to in a second. We'll define the word busy there, but literally it's restricting you in literally being able to live life. It's that plain and simple.
Brian, are you there?
I am here. Over to you, Kathy.
Excuse me just a sec. We've got folks that are watching. They're saying that they can't hear or see us. So I just wanted to pass that on.
Okay.
Sorry for that bit of silence there, Dolan. I had just sent Brian a message, and I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it looks good from this. It looks good from this end. May have them chat to them and tell them to just hit refresh on their browsers.
Oh, okay.
And did you guys get that? Was that,
yeah,
you were able to hear me clearly?
We are still on.
Yeah, so it must have been somebody's computer there, but okay, that's okay. We'll just carry on here. That was really interesting because I have not heard that before, Dolan. And yes, as Brian mentioned, we have both seen the movie, so it kind of puts things in a little bit of a different perspective. So, when we think about words and we utilize words every day, we don't always think about what they mean because we're so used to using them. So what does the word busy really mean?
Well, it's a beautiful question. So, and for this, I don't go to a dictionary. In fact, over the past 6 years, I've developed this. Dictionary has what is more of a new definition of a word. It doesn't exactly point out the origin of the word. So For this, I look at the origin of the word, and the origin of the word busy literally means to be in a state of anxiety.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So if we look at the word anxiety, anxiety means to be in a place of anger. And anger literally means to be in a restriction, in a place of regret, a place of grief, and literally a place of strangling. So every time we use this word busy, you can see that we're literally entraining in this energy. It's profound that, you know, we don't know the origin of these words that we use. And it's very simple, you know, and anybody can really use a tool. There's a tool online called etymonline.com.
ETYM?
Yeah, etymonline.com.
Online.com, okay.
And there's a little bit of an art to it, you know, finding the different words as they relate to each other. But this word busy has this origin, which is really fascinating to me because it is such a prominent word in our society. And all the different examples that we use it. You know, someone calls you and asks you how you're doing, and you say, oh, I'm too busy to talk right now. Or I had a great day, really busy, you know, or, you know, there's so many different ways that we use it. And even we use the word business. Business literally means to be busy. So using the word business is exactly the same energy. And so you can start to think now, if you look back at your day, maybe even today, you may have used that word busy to describe your state of being. And if you know the origin of it, literally what you were saying is, and the energy you were training and the consciousness you were training yourself in was that, you know, you were in a state of anxiety. You were literally in a state of restriction and cutting off the life force.
Hey, Dolan, real quick, toggle your video. We lost your video.
Okay.
Give that a shot. And we could still hear you loud and clear. That was working good. But we will just continue on.
Can you see the video now?
Yep, there you are. Welcome back.
Okay, cool.
Excellent. And we will get everybody on here. But that's fantastic. This word busy is a very interesting topic, as you were saying. A lot of people do use that. I think we all overuse it as an excuse, primarily for, you know, why we can't get so many things done. And it's just a very intriguing topic. But how do you go about actually removing this word from your vocabulary? I mean, you know, how do you implement that, say, step by step? What's the real easy way to do it?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a really great question because, like you said, we use it all the time for, you know, describing our state of being or the day that we had, etc. And you know, so it's programmed into our vocabulary. So, you know, to have this awareness, and I really want it just to be really clear with everybody that I understand, you know, getting stuff done is you know, very empowering to a lot of us, and a lot of us really enjoy being productive, and we really enjoy accomplishing things, and it's very important for our lives to move forward. I mean, that's what we're here for. So I really want to make it clear that I'm not presenting to people to stop doing things at all. It's not about stopping and doing what you're doing, but literally it's perhaps just using a different energy and acknowledging that this word is not serving you in that doing of those things, and perhaps this is even leading to the experience that we're having of this franticness and this state of anxiety when we go through our day of accomplishing what we want to accomplish. So what I would suggest is, in order to start taking this word out of our vocabulary, and I'm still figuring out a way to take it out of my vocabulary when I do presentations like this. So maybe from now on we'll call it the B word, okay?
I don't know. That has connotations too, Dolan. I'm not so sure.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So either way, we'll just, you know, the word. This word we're referring to. But, you know, so I understand. I really want people to know that it's not about not doing things. It's not about, it's just literally the label, the consciousness that we label on our actions in our day. So this is really the first step, is to just really be aware of this. And the first step is to really look at your day today. Like I said, look at your day and just sit and just think about maybe when you use the word, either the busy or business, because business is the exact same thing, just a different form. So think about those times you made the word, because the first part in order to be able to move forward with anything, as you guys may know, is to really have the awareness and to own it, right? So once you accept it, then you can move forward and you can do something about it, and you can perhaps even feel the energy you were experiencing when you said that word. So that's the first step. The second step is to then start to think about, what are some possible other possible words that you can use to replace this word. There's many out there, and there's a lot with some more positive, expansive, and life invigorating words and origins. So, for example, the word productive even is one example. Okay, so perhaps the word productive is something that you can use instead. So imagine someone called you and said, "Oh, how was your day?" "Oh, it was really, really productive."
I like that.
Take the other word out, take the B word out, and literally, it was really productive. And even just saying the word, my personal experience is I actually feel more of an expansion rather than when I use this other word we're talking about. So perhaps there's another word like productive or creative. The word creative, and both productive and creative are very similar, as in it's literally to produce, to bring to life, to manifest. So those are beautiful, expansive words. They're full of life. They're going to invigorate you, and rather than the opposite, which is the contraction. So perhaps creative is a word for you. Perhaps inspirational or inspiring. On my website at Quantum Transformation, I have a whole list of words. Let's see here. Happy. You could even use the word happy, joyful, peaceful, heavenly, blissful, full of life, harmonious. And of course, there's many other words, depending on really who your being is and what your day is. So so the next step is to really start to look at, what are these possible words that I could fit into place? And then, of course, the only way to make a really big change, which this is, it's because it's in our life every day and sometimes multiple times, is to take a small step, right? So that, Alex Mandozian, who I worked with, one of his favorite sayings was, each journey of 1,000 miles started with the first step, right?
Right.
Love it.
So the next, very small step to take would be to simply choose one word, just one word, and focus on it for, say, half a day. Not even a full day, but literally just, say, the morning of the next day. So look at this list of words and figure out which one word do you want to pick, and focus on that word for the first half of tomorrow. Don't even take a full day, but literally just a half a day. So Kathy, what do you think? What word do you think you could use?
For a half a day, I think creative.
Creative. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I think I would use the word creative, because I've been kind of feeling that way lately, and it just kind of brings on positive feelings.
Great.
And it also brings on a sense of possible accomplishment.
Perfect. Okay, beautiful. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna watch, and I'm gonna keep tabs on you, Sue, with the word creative. And
okay, I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget that for tomorrow.
And so, Brian, what about you? What word do you think you could use?
She took mine. Not fair. No. Actually, I was thinking that word, but also another very strong word for me of late, and that does fit Kathy. She has been very creative. We talk every day. She's gotten back into her element. But I would choose, because she picked mine, productive, because I've been very productive of late.
Productive. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. I think that those probably are going to be two of the most popular words, but it's great, and rightfully so, as again they mean to produce, to manifest, to bring to life. So very powerful words. So okay, cool. All right. So once you've chosen your word, and this is beautiful that we're doing this here, is you want to, the next step in obviously having any kind of impact is just start small, so half a day, and then you want to have someone who you can be accountable with, right? So maybe the two of you can be accountable to each other. And, and if you hear the person mention the other word, the B word, just you lend a gentle reminder. And, you guys are incredibly funny people, and you guys can make light of it. So anyone else who's watching right now or listening, perhaps someone else who's listening, and just have an accountability partner. And that way you can engage in the conversation, which is also going to help you, because anytime we make changes in our lives, the hardest thing is when we enter into our environment that we've already created, and it's built around what we've already created. When we enter in with a change in our behaviors, it can cause a little bit of a ripple and a little bit of discontent. So if we have someone in our life that we make these changes with, it makes it that much easier. So I really highly suggest that you get someone you can be accountable with, engage in this conversation, and not only will they remind you, but it'll also allow you to be a little bit more comfortable. And then you have a co-partner that you can actually go into the world with this new education. And then the last step, which is I think a fun one for me, is to obviously, which is why I'm doing this, but is to have fun with it, and maybe use this as a topic of conversation at parties or networking meetings or whatever. And you receive that exchange of energy, and you have that impact on someone's life. It always enhances, and it always makes you want to move forward with the changes. So how does that sound? Does that sound like it could be feasible, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
Yeah, cool. And how are we doing technology? You guys able to see and hear me okay?
Yeah, we dropped for just a second there again. We're having all sorts of good technology fun tonight. It's like rolling the dice sometimes, but that's what happens with technology. But as long as we can hear you, everybody's happy.
And at the
moment, great.
At the moment, it's looking fantastic.
Yeah, but one thing I wanted to ask, we're talking about the word busy, and that's the word that that you're kind of focusing in on. But can this thought process be effective with other words as well? Is there a particular reason that you've chosen the word busy, or is it for other words too?
That's a great question, and I was trying to think of how I really, came across this little hobby of mine, and I think it all started. Honestly, I don't really know, but one of the first words that I was really curious about was when I was working with Alex, and he mentioned the word entrepreneur. And so a lot of us associate entrepreneur to this world of commerce. But really, the origin of the word entrepreneur is entreprendre, which means to undertake. It's a French, derived from French and beyond that. But to undertake, but literally means to engage and to engage in something, and which essentially, the moment we're born, we're entrepreneurs. We're engaging and choosing to undertake a life on Earth. So, so that really, really intrigued me, and so I went. I made a list of other words that we commonly use, and of course, this B word was on the list, and also there was a word salary. The word salary.
That's a good one.
So salary literally comes from it comes from the thousands of years ago, or sorry, hundreds of years ago, when the way to pay people for doing work, and mainly which was on farms, which is and building the crops, was to pay them with salt. Right. So the word salary literally means is salt. Was the original form of currency and payment, which was valuable to people to obviously fuel the body with minerals. So. And so it went on, and I loved it. Loved what I was discovering, and most recently the word change actually, change is one of the most searched terms in the history of the internet.
I didn't know that. Did you, Brian?
No, I had no idea.
So yeah, and it's fascinating to me, and And so this word change in almost in life, change is this kind of this mysterious thing that, you know, some of us embrace and some of us, you know, refrain from and restrain from. And, you know, do you guys know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, and I think that that changes that feeling or that process changes as we grow and change through life as well. So yes,
Exactly. So I decided I'd look up the word change and what is the energy of the word change? And so change, if you start to trace the origin of the word change, it literally comes from to bend. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so bend, when you look at the origin of the word bend, it comes from scribing and literally scribing a circle. So, which is fascinating to me, because if you really, you know, look at it on this conscious level, which is really what we're talking about, we're raising our consciousness of the words we're using, which is, you know, why I say that I'm a conscious leadership specialist. But when you look at that, if you look at the word change, and it comes from the word to bend, which is to circle, if you think about it, really change is necessary in order for this circle of life, this illusion of the circle of life, to happen, to exist, so that we have one moment to the next, because each moment is different from the previous moment, only because of the change that appeared to happen, right? So literally, really, we really are in a moment of change all the time. And so the spark from moment to moment is change, which leads, you know, life to continue and that experience of life. So I don't know, that was another one that I stumbled upon that I really enjoyed, and I'm going to be doing a video about that in the next week or two here.
On the word change in particular, or just
on the word change particular? Yes.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you know, oftentimes when I use words, you know, I think about it, particularly if I'm writing something. But sometimes when I'm just having a conversation, and I'm sure other people do too, because we use some of those words freely, we don't really think about the in-depth meaning behind them. And I think that I'm going to look at words in a different way just by what you're sharing, looking at them, kind of delving down and finding out what the true meaning is. And yeah, it's very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Indeed.
Right.
Hey, do another quick reset there, Dolan, on your video.
Oh, all right.
Audio's coming in great.
You.
It's been bouncing in and out all night. This is the most fun we've ever had with this technology, I got to tell you. There we go. He's back.
How's that?
That's much better. Excellent.
Great.
You
know,
know,
that's great to hear, Kathy. And
go right ahead.
Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I was just going to say, Kathy, you and I have done, this will be our 54th show, and one prevailing thing that we have seen and learned from many successful entrepreneurs is that of mindset and how deeply it plays into one's success or lack thereof. And this is going right down that path, I'm sensing. So I wanted to ask, you know, how can this specific shift in thinking, as we're talking about that one word that we don't want to mention, and the others that are like it, how can that shift in thinking actually make a difference in your business?
Yeah, well, you know, that's a really great question, and I'm actually glad you used that form of the B word you just used. I'm going to say it, business, because I know a lot of the people who are on this call, and you know, this is even in the world today, we've divided life into personal and business. It's that fascinating. So literally personal, it's the, you know, the polar opposites. You know, personal life, which is, you know, all about living, and recreation, which is, you know, recreating the energy, etc. And then there's business world, which is literally, you know, business, as we just learned, is all about contraction. So I just want to just give people a couple other words to replace that word. You know, so you can use the word company. I love company. I say that I run a company, or I own a company, because company means a group of people, which is wonderful, is very nice. Work, the word work, which is, you know, very good as well. You could use mission, purpose, enterprise, A lot of people seem to like the word enterprise. And then calling, career, occupation, etc. So those are some good examples too to remove that other word that I know is so very prominent in our world. And then so back to how can this impact this area of our life, because it there is no separation. It is still still a part of life. And so if you run a company or you are in the world of commerce and you offer your product or your services, or you have a message for the world, really, what I've experienced is it's given me this freedom, this energy. It's really wild. It's like such a slight shift, but it really has given me a new spark to really pursue my mission, really, which is to bring this kind of knowledge to people. And it takes a different form in teleseminars and whatever product form it takes, but it's giving me this life. So essentially, you may experience the same thing where it might actually fuel you to pursue these endeavors on a day-to-day basis even more, because as you break free of that energy and you start to expand rather than contract, you're going to have more life force. And we all know what it means to have much more energy infused in what we do. What comes with that? I mean, that has a massive ripple effect. When you start raising your vibration, you start attracting like-minded people who are thinking more creative, which means there's perhaps there's more ways of making money that you'll end up seeing and experiencing, or perhaps your newfound life and energy will come across to your clients and your prospects and inspire them to then take action and move forward with you, which obviously increases your sales, and people are going to want to be around you a lot more. So it increases your ability to influence and retain customers. It's, it can really have quite a profound impact in all the different areas that really make this, this really commerce part of our life so very important, obviously. So it can really have this great ripple effect.
Well, I'll tell you, just sitting here listening to you, and then I was saying to myself a couple of times, I'm going to say it, business, business, business. So I was saying that and just kind of thinking about that word, and it just sounds kind of heavy and not fun and kind of suppressing when you think about it, with me sitting here thinking about it, and I use it a lot.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, but and I mean, I was listening to you while you were talking, but I just was saying, what do you think I want to listen to you? But I was saying it so that I could kind of hear it and feel it. And it does. It feels kind of stuffy and heavy. But then in my head, I'm like saying company. Whoa. I mean, that does. It sounds group.
Company's great. Group of people.
And airy. So I can see how a mindset change with words could certainly have a different impact on even how you present yourself or whatever it is you're doing, like you're saying, like our live internet TV show, on a webinar, or just in normal conversation. So that's some really cool stuff. I like it.
Cool. Awesome. That's perfect. Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah, I think that's great. Brian, do you want to share what's going on with Dolan's company and his links?
Absolutely, but you stole my word again. Company.
I did. You were going to say that too?
No, actually, I was going to say enterprise, but yeah. Anyway, we're just having a little fun here. Anyway, for everyone watching this show live, don't do this moment, but above us you can see Dolan's handsome mug up there, and at a time later after the show's over, be sure to click right on his nose, right there, on his nose, up there, not the live one here, up there, and that will take you to his Facebook page. That way you can get connected with him personally. And as you can see beneath, there is a banner to his enterprise website. No, I didn't say that other word, where you can see more what he is all about. And I got to go back to my notes because I don't have it on the screen, but that is called Quantum Transformation. He is the CEO and Chief Strategist, I believe is the title that you hold with that. Be sure to go there, and he has an opt-in form on that website. Opt in there to stay in touch with Dolan and what he's doing on the business side. If you were listening closely, and I hope you caught this, he has worked with some pretty phenomenal individuals. Not to take any away from Dolan himself, but the experience he has gained in such a short period of time, I am so envious, and I mean that. I am so envious that he has worked with T. Harv Eker, Alex Mondosian. I just saw him the other night. Just unbelievable. So tap into this young man's wealth of knowledge that he has gained in such a short amount of time, and hold on to his coattails and just hang on for the ride and see where he takes you. So I wanted to get that in. Thank you for reminding me, Kathy.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Brian. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, something that I kind of wanted to ask about next is, what strategies would you say we need to use to overcome roadblocks that might help us in removing the, not the business word, but the other busy word from our vocabulary?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, you know, we touched on this a little bit, and you know, again, this is a pretty big shift, you know, in changing our vocabulary. So I understand, you know, we're going to use it, right? It's going to come up, of course, and you know, I think the biggest thing, obviously, is to just you know, my experience with making any changes in my life is to never just beat myself up, you know. That makes it worse, you know what I mean? I was explaining to a friend the other day, and we were talking about diet and nutrition. And I was laughing because my observation of other cultures, you know, even there was this whole French woman diet or something where, you know, they eat bread and drink wine and smoke and they don't gain weight, right? Well, it's the state of being relaxed, you know. Literally, again, it's just, you know, there's the contraction and there's the expansion, you know. So when you're relaxed, you're expanding, things can move through you, you know, flow through you. So, you know, the biggest thing is to just not be hard on ourselves and just allow ourselves to have our experience, you know. If you use the word, you use the word, you know, really it is no big deal. You know, there really is, you know, it's just a cool experience, and it's your choice, you know, if you want to experience this, you know, expansion and this lightness of being, you know, it's just another experience to have. So number one, you know, definitely just be easy on yourself. Don't beat yourself up over it. And then, you know, secondly, you know, like I said earlier, just one step at a time. Just choose one word for half a day. That's it, and have fun with it. Literally just enjoy it. You know, the more we, you know, when we have those enjoyable experiences, it just sets such a great foundation and a great anchor to want to have more and more of them. So just enjoy the process, enjoy the new information, enjoy the changes, and you know, and again, do it with a friend, and just literally like have fun with it. Literally just make a game out of it and play. And you know, if we do these things, it's going to just make it easier on us. And I mean, you could take those strategies to anything, like I said, that we do. You know, any changes you make in your life, and any new information that you experience and learn. So you know, just really enjoy it and just have fun, and just go one half day at a time.
You know, I've got to say this about the French women smoking and drinking wine and eating bread, and the expanding and contracting. If I was eating bread and drinking wine like that, I would be in the expansion mode. Totally be in the expansion mode. I don't think I'd be skinny, but yeah, you got to be moving, you know.
Well,
move with that too.
There's studies, though, that, I mean, there's this new movie coming out. Actually, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. This movie is called The Truth, The Journey Within. It's going to be coming out in... This is like, there's like 10 copies of this out right now. But this is going to be coming out in the spring of this year. It's the first personal development movie that will be launched into major theaters across the country.
Wow.
It's amazing. And I've watched it, and honestly, I don't really read books. I don't really attend seminars. I kind of cringe when I say that, but you know, because I just like to do the work on a daily basis, you know, always contemplating, always feeling into my own experience. But the reason why I brought this up is because there's a study that shows that when we're in a state of stress, right? When we're in a state of stress, we literally shut our flow of energy down, and so we start, our metabolism shuts down, everything shuts down, right? And our brain slows down, the processing slows down, the neurons don't connect, it's that contraction, which is again why, if you want to have this experience of really being full of life, it's important to be aware of the energies that you're tuning into. So, and the biggest thing is to just really just enjoy it, just smile and start bringing these new energies into our lives. It's the oldest spiritual practice in the world, is the practice of mantras. I don't know if have you guys ever done mantras, or have you heard about mantras and the Tibetan monks?
Well, I know Tibetan monk is, but I don't know what a mantra is.
Okay, so a mantra is like Tibetan monks and spiritual all over the world. They have these mantras. They're like 5 to 7 word sentences that they repeat over and over again. And the reason why they do this is because they know that the thoughts will never stop. But what you can do is you control the thoughts you're having. And the thoughts you have are going to basically determine your experience of life. So if you can have, if you program your mind to be thinking positive, enlightening thoughts, then that's the experience of life you will have. So really that's all we're doing here, is we're just reprogramming the thoughts and the words that we're choosing to have. And so, these are just, it's almost like a mantra in a way. So, it's the whole, they've kind of put a new age term on it. Affirmations.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
The positive affirmations, that's a mantra, really. It's, just, and prayer and.
Okay. I know what a mantra is used in that term. I thought it was like something different, but okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, that's really it. Just reprogramming the mind and for the expansive thoughts and an experience of life. And, so it's really very simple. And again, I don't want people to think that they have to stop doing. It's not about that. I mean, we're here to live, we're here to experience. So I want you to keep doing, I want you to keep accomplishing, I want you to keep checking things off. I want you to be productive and creative, and keep living your life, but just do it in a more with an energy that just really aligns with that, so that you can really get more done, and really experience it on a positive level. So there you go. It's pretty simple.
There was a lot of stuff just said there, and I want to touch on a couple of things real quick, if I might. One will definitely add credibility to several of your statements in a big way. I'm recently undergoing a coaching program with a woman named Marianne Amann, that's EHMANN, who talked about the very topic of beating oneself up, or being easy on yourself. And she is a master at turning that around step by step very quickly. And I had no idea, in my personal case, that I was beating myself as badly as I was. I'm surprised I don't have black eyes and a bloody nose every day. But profound change in my life personally. And I'm one of those guys that think, you can't just think your way out of things. Well, it's not just thinking. There's more to it than that. And what Dolan is going over is a bit deeper than just thinking things. But the beauty of all this is you don't have to sacrifice your religious beliefs in any way, shape, or form. This all follows through. Kathy and I are both Christians, and we're very, very rigid in our faith. And there's no boundary crossing with this type of talk about mindset. It's how you apply it, given your own personal circumstance and your belief system. And it truly is a phenomenal thing that has been going on with Marianne and myself, and I just want to give her a shout out, but also that adds credibility to you, Dolan, of what you're saying right now. It is absolutely true, and Kathy can attest to all of this discussion we have had over the year plus that we've been doing the show, how important mindset is. I mean, when we first started on this, this wasn't like a prevailing thought of Kathy, all right? Maybe Kathy was there already. I wasn't. I'm an engineer. I'm anal. I'm ones and zeros, and but it's really been an eye-opener, this journey, and it actually makes a difference. There's no doubt. Saying positive words versus negative words, the whole gamut. So this is excellent stuff, Dolan. Now,
cool. Well, thank you, Brian. And again, check out, for anyone who's listening who hasn't seen this yet, but Messages in Water. Messages in Water by Masaru Emoto. I don't know. You Google Messages in Water, you'll get it. Check out the images. It's profound. And there was one other just really simple example of this that I'll bring up because it's kind of fun. So, but you're very right, Brian. I mean, we're simply talking about words. That's all we're talking about. It's just the words we're choosing to use. That's all. And one of the ones that really got my attention, I was presented this project to be a part of, and something just didn't feel right about it. And it all came around this feeling of, you know what, I don't know if I like this term they were using. And the term was bucket list. You guys know of that term, bucket list?
Yeah.
Yes, from movie.
Okay. So I didn't really like this term. And so I had picked up this hobby at this time. And so I thought I would check out the origin of the word, or this phrase, really, because you can do this with anything. And so bucket list comes from literally it's a list of things you make that you want to do before you die, essentially, right? So I don't know if you guys know this, but this phrase literally comes from back in the day when people used to, I apologize for the the nature of the conversation, but literally when people used to hang themselves and they would kick the bucket, right? So it's like, well, I don't want to make a bucket list because, it just didn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like it didn't fit. So so I don't make a bucket list. That phrase is out of my. It's gone. I don't want anything to do with that. So, I. Of them, and so I say a karma list. I've got a karma list. I've got a bunch of things I want to experience in this life, and so it's really interesting. There's lots of fun ways to play around with this, and I just invite people to really just take a look at the world that we live in, and how do you feel when you do certain things and say certain things and think certain things, and just choose what kind of experience you want to have, and just re-educate.
Well, I don't actually use the term the bucket list either, although I don't know that I've really given mine a name of things that I want to do before I depart. Term. And kicking the bucket, I can see where that's coming from. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Kick the bucket. So before you kick the bucket, you're going to do your bucket list. So yeah, that kind of makes sense there.
Hey, Dolan, give us a video refresh real quick.
All right, cool. I was just thinking that.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, twice.
What was going on there.
Twice. We're just having nothing but
Do I need to move around more so you know?
That's
You're
it.
there.
Yeah, just
All right.
Oh, you look so much better when you're moving rather than that stoic picture we have of you on our website there.
Dolan, I've got to tell you this. Usually when mine freezes, it's when I have my mouth wide open or doing something.
Oh, yeah. Always. It's a beautiful sign.
A great pose. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, just like that, looking at words in a different way and kind of feeling them and seeing how it plays together. And it's just a whole different element and a different way to look at words in particular. So I think this is phenomenal. What do you think, Brian?
Yes, it's ringing true with some of my personal experiences I'm having of late, which, not just of late, like we were talking over the past year plus of what we've been learning through this great journey in our enterprise with, I was trying to go through all the words, but I feel like I'm, taking a test. What's the right word here? That would be, but no, I'm just having fun with it. It's absolutely. You don't want to
stay busy because it's going to cause anxiety. So just wipe it out.
Oh no, being very productive here, but
I love it. I love it.
What about people that aren't aware of this at all? I mean, what can be done? I mean, that don't have this information. Obviously, if they're watching the show, they're getting it, and it perhaps perhaps we can help, you know, when we run into people? I mean, how do you spread the word about this type of, it's so subtle. It's very simple. It's not difficult to do. As far as it doesn't take that much time. It just takes a little bit of shift up here in a concentration factor of, I'm going to say productive instead of busy for the half a day. I mean, how do you get that out?
It's feeling it too, though, Brian. I think it's like not just changing, but it's feeling it.
Yeah, I love that, Kathy, and Brian. Exactly, I love your point as well, and is just it's beautiful, Kathy. It's that feeling, you know, and you know, as we start to really feel like I really want, you know, when I get more into the work that I do, I really talk about how, you know, we really have to affirm with ourselves what it feels like to feel good and allow that to be our primary experience of life. And so we can do it with simple steps like this word. And, you know, if we really feel the power of it, you know, just share it with people and have fun with it. And like I said, you know, like we're having a really great conversation here. I'm loving it. It can go so many different levels. And so just really share the experience. And actually there was one word that just really came to me, and when I do, you know, longer presentations, I really get into this, but there's the one word that was really powerful for me that I experienced was the word human. So the word human means of the earth, which literally, you know, so it means like literally we come of the earth. We're not separate from the earth. We don't coexist. We literally are of the earth. We've been born from the earth. And this is what the word human means, is literally of the earth. And earth means ground. So it's, you know, it really showed me that correlation. And I laugh so much when people say this. My favorite phrase is, you know, I feel so good when I spend time in nature. It's it's like, well, you know, really? Go figure. It's because, you know, it's so close to our natural being. It's what we are. You know, there's no separation there. So again, Kathy, it's such a great point. It's all about that feeling. Just start to really nurture what it feels like to feel good, and make that your main experience of life, that you just want to feel good as much as you can, as often as you can. And obviously, you know, sometimes we care more about how other people feel than ourselves. And so, you know, when you start to really nurture how you feel, you want to share it with the people in your life. So share it. Just share these little things and just have lots of fun with it, really, and just enjoy it. And, you know, my website, this show, I know people can access this show, can't they, in replay? So, you know, come back, listen to this show, refer people back to the show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and other people will hopefully enjoy it as well. And just continue to share this kind of information. And, you know, and hopefully then we'll create a nation of people who are just feeling good all the time.
You know, I have to tell you this, Brian, I'm going to let you finish that question. I didn't mean to step on you there, but in all actuality, you had said earlier that I kind of stole your word creativity, so you were going to use productive. And I do have to tell you this, because see, I'm really thinking about these words. When I talked to Brian on Sunday, talk about productive, that really was his word. He was very creative, but he has been like over the top productive. And Brian, I'm sure you felt it in your body, because even when you were sharing with me about all the things that you had accomplished, I mean, there was like a levity and just, I mean, a sense of accomplishment because of all the productivity that had taken place for you over the weekend. So it was almost liberating. And again, it's interesting because in remembering back how you portrayed when you were using the word and explaining about what you had accomplished, it was so different. So anyway, I just wanted to interject that there. That was your word.
Yeah, I was feeling it. I was pumped.
Yeah. Pumped and productive. Yes.
Gonna pump you up. Yeah. Hey, it's over to you, Kathy. We're on your.
You're on my dime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all just waiting. We want to hear more from Kathy Stover. Let's go.
Okay. So now this part I didn't quite understand. So I'm gonna put it out there. and it's going to make sense to you, don't I know it will, but what is the first physical action to ensure the success in removing the word busy or even some of the other words that we put out on the table tonight?
Cool. Well, you know, it all comes back to that feeling. And the very first thing is to literally just observe the feeling. And there's, you know, we know, like you said, Kathy, when you started to think about it, that even thinking about the word, you know, you felt this contraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
You felt heaviness. And when you think about these other words, you started to feel lighter. So, and that really is the first step, really tuning in with how we're really feeling, taking time to you know, to feel, you know, just figure out how we're feeling. And you know, that's really is the very first step. And then if, you know, support, I mean, like you said, people more than happy to connect with me on Facebook. I would love to, you know, support as many people as I can, and just with more questions, whatever questions they might have. You know, I would love to hear people's feedback. Really, I'm doing this. You know, hopefully, you feel that I'm doing this for you know, for you guys and everybody listening, and you know, that's what it's all about for me. So just get in tune with the feelings and reach out, and just know that I'm here to support. Kathy, you're such an incredible supportive being, and Brian, I've really enjoyed our conversation so far, and I see how you support Kathy. It's incredible. It's really, really beautiful, and you guys had some great things to say about each other. Kathy, I remember the first time that you and I actually really talked on the phone. I was walking by this river up in Vancouver, and it was really a really great experience, and I felt really humbled to get to hear your story and all of your experiences, and what you've done with eBay was just, I thought that was fascinating. So, you know, you guys have me on the show. I'm really grateful. I appreciate you two so much. That's another word, appreciate, and actually apologize. Start using apologize instead of sorry, and you know, that'll transform everything. But yeah, I really appreciate the two of you. Thank you so much, and you know, just really tune into how we're feeling and create that support network, and you know, nothing but success.
Awesome. Awesome is another word. And I have got to say this. Every week, we fly through an hour, like unbelievably.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to say to you about you, Dolan, and to everybody that's listening as well, you are so multifaceted. You know, at the beginning I said, and he's 29 years old, and he has done all of these amazing things. And like Brian alluded to, the people that you have worked with and supported, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. So when we get together to talk about what the topic was going to be for tonight's show, I was like, wow, I had no idea that you were involved in some of the other things that you're involved in, because I was more acquainted with some of the other productive companies that you've been involved with. See, I'm really thinking there. So it was quite an eye-opener to see how multifaceted you really are. It's just absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming and sharing yourself and your talent with us tonight, and just offering beyond being here on the show to the people that are viewing. I want to say to my good close friend Brian, as always, I just love being on the show with him, and just putting the creativity and the productivity that we put together each week to bring these to the people that come and share with us. And I'm going to turn it back over to you, Brian.
My goodness, I echo all those sentiments towards you, Dolan, as well. Appreciate the time you have spent with us, because, you know, without you, our show doesn't go on. People like you, and we appreciate you. It's more than just 1 hour spent on the show with us, as you are aware. There is preparation time that goes into this ahead of that, and we do appreciate and acknowledge that time you spent with us, and wanted to thank you very much for that. And also, everyone watching the show tonight, right now, live, and those that are watching afterward on the recording, I want to thank you for spending your time with us. And we are at that happy little time where it's time to say so long. Remember the Mickey Mouse Club? Now it's time to say, I'm aging myself, but wonderful content. Dolan, Kathy, I appreciate you like you wouldn't believe. Without you, you are the glue that holds this show together. I say that often, but I mean that in the best way possible. Appreciate everything you do. This is just one big happy family we got going here. I like this.
Yep.
But, you know, as all families have to at times, you know, we have to kick the young one out of the nest, and, you know, they got to go on their merry way. No, but thank you once again, Dolan. I don't know if anybody got that joke. It's like kids, you know, leaving the nest.
Thank you. I got it. And actually, Brian, I love the word you used, family. Family literally is all about literally people who will literally just listen to you and that you share space with. So, so you know, really, I honor that word, and family's perfect word, Brian. Thank you.
Oh, you bet. And thank you, and everyone watching. We will respect your time. We're going to sign off now, but be sure to check back to the Celebrity Creators Show next week. We have another fantastic guest. Both Kathy and I have met this individual, but that will be next week. And have a great evening, and we'll see you all again real soon. Good night now.
Good night.